Alrighty, so amidst the beginning of the Audi's 2024 MLS playoffs, we actually had a head coach that was hired today by an MLS team, and that MLS team is Austin FC, as they have announced that they have hired Nico Estevez as their new head coach. Obviously, Nico Estevez, he was recently been fired by FC Dallas earlier this season, and obviously, there's no doubt that the reaction to this hiring has been mostly negative, and that a lot of Austin fans have saying that this is a very underwhelming kind of hiring, and some have said that this definitely does not change anything from the Josh Wolff days of Austin FC, and I don't blame them. That of course is the case. Of course, Nico Estevez, the reason why he eventually got fired from Dallas is that he plays some very negative brand style of soccer, and that his tactics at times have been very questionable. And consider this Dallas team that coming into this season, yes, they have dealt with injuries, but this should still be a team that should be contending for playoffs, or even considered to be maybe one of the better Western Conference team this season. And as I mentioned, those boring tactics that he has implemented to the Dallas team just kind of led to the downfall of Dallas this season, and eventually led to his downfall in terms of coaching this team. And if there's one thing I've also want to say is that last time when we see an MLS team decided to hire a former FC Dallas head coach, well, it definitely went well for one year, but yeah, the very next year it did not go so well. Eventually, they got fired, and that head coach I'm talking about is Luchi Gonzalez. When he was hired by the Quakes, and while it definitely worked well in the first year, and Luchi Ball was definitely pretty good, the second year we saw how it just completely fall flat on its face to a point where the Quakes become not only the worst team in MLS this season by a country mile, but it's going to go down as one of the worst teams in MLS history with the abysmal amount of points that they had, and the fact that they've lost some of the most game we've ever seen an MLS team lost in a regular season, and also now owning the record of the most goal that any MLS team has conceded. So I'm not saying that that might be the case again for Austin, and I'm not saying that maybe next year Nico Estevez somehow will guide them to a playoff appearance before it completely fall apart in the second season. But again, the this hiring has been kind of underwhelming, mainly because they're GM have mentioned before that they were going to not only look deep into this coaching candidacy in this Austin job, but they actually have a long list of names, and they were going to take their time in terms of deciding. And if that, of course, is the case, then it's kind of a little bit underwhelming that in the end they decided to go with Nico Estevez. So as I said before, if there's one thing we learn, at least in these last couple of years, when it comes to some of these head coaching name being recycled and basically joining another MLS team, is that just because there's some negative reaction and some underwhelming reaction by a fan base of that head coach, that completely changed when the result goes in their way. Look what we saw with the Houston Dynamo. Well, when they hired Ben Olsen, there was a lot of mixed to negative opinions about Ben Olsen being the head coach of Houston, and he only just took his team to back-to-back playoff appearance, a Western Conference Final appearance, and even win a trophy too in the U.S. Open Cup in his first year, and even Chris Armas too. Again, there was also a lot of negativity surrounding Colorado decided getting Chris Armas, and look what Colorado has done. I mean, yes, I know things have not been well for the Rapids down the stretch, but before that, Chris Armas Rapids team not only being a very entertaining team to watch, but they're a very hardworking kind of team, never able to blow out. And also, look what they did in the Leeds Cup as well. Somehow getting to a third place finish, despite the fact that they were not even favored of getting out of their own group, and also not to mention, even in that third place match against the Union, no one thought that the Rapids would beat the Union. Everybody wrote them off, and yeah, again, it just shows you that you can't really judge by a head coach that is being hired by a team and think that it's going to not work out in the end. But that being said, that also means that just because that is the case, that also kind of puts a little bit more pressure on these new head coach to deliver, because if they don't deliver, then yeah, the fan base is going to really turn on Nico Estevez relatively quickly. And I think also part of that is that we'll see whether or not if Austin might be busy in terms of the transfer window as well. They have a lot to fix, this team, and I know they kind of did some of that fixing in the summer trans window as well. They brought in some big names. One big name they of course brought in the summer trans window is Bakari, and he's been kind of a little bit underwhelming in the beginning, but again, that maybe that's mainly because he just come into a new league, and even star players will have to take a time to readjust to a new league before they of course worked out. Though they just hope that it's not going to be another Emmanuel, I don't know, Rigoni kind of situation as well. But either way, let me know in the comments below, Los Verdes fan. What do you think of this hiring? Is this a hiring that maybe get themselves back to playoff contention? I mean, I know there's going to be probably a lot of no in the comment section, but again, you never know. We'll see how he's going to do now that he's taking charge of an Austin team. And by the way, I'll maybe actually making another video similar to that, because now there's a rumor that we might get another team hiring an MLS head coach. Now I heard there's a rumor that Bruce Arena might be finally getting a job, and it's going to be from a team that not only I root for, but a very unexpected team that I thought was going to try to name Bruce Arena as the head coach. And I'll make that video talk about which team that is. Although I'm pretty sure you probably know if you keep track of the news cycle around MLS. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys do like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.